Hello, welcome to Balanced Health. I'm Shirley Rose and this is Joe Costello. And today we're tackling chronic fatigue syndrome, where constant exhaustion is your closest companion, where routines that are second nature now feel like huge tasks. Even getting out of bed consumes precious energy. Your doctor, your employer, your family and friends even may assume that you're just lazy, but they're wrong. This is chronic fatigue syndrome, and an estimated of 800,000 of the nation's adults experience similar symptoms, but only about 15% have even been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. Despite the sobering statistics, many healthcare providers contend that it's all in the mind. Well, joining us later in the show to shed some light on this is Dr. Karen Bergner from the Dreyer Medical Clinic. But Joe, it's a huge problem. 800,000 people in this country, adults, and I understand that children can also have chronic fatigue syndrome, have been diagnosed, have this disease, and only a small number are actually diagnosed because it is confusing. But you actually had an experience with this yourself.
Well, Shirley, my health journey started with chronic fatigue syndrome. Back in 1986, I went from working out 7 days a week, running several different businesses, and I would work out at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And by the time I would get home from work at night, it would be 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I often worked 7 days a week, always 6 days a week. That's the kind of life I led.
And you were a young man, though.
I was a young man.
You were a young man.
But fast forward just a little bit at that time frame, and next thing you know, I am fatigued to the point where I stopped working out. And Shirley, at that point in time, I'd been working out for about 11, 12 years. And if I missed 5 workouts in those 12 years, I worked out on my honeymoon, okay?
Oh, my goodness.
So for me to not be able to work out anymore.
That would be a fanatic, yeah.
For me to not be able to work out anymore was an amazing thing.
Yeah.
By God's grace, I was able to somehow get through work, although I cut my work schedule back dramatically. But Shirley, I would literally have times where I would be talking to people and I would feel like I was drooling out of the sides of my mouth.
Because you were so tired.
I was just so tired, you know, and my muscles were so. And we talk about 800,000 people. My guess is that that number is way, way higher than that, just based on how many people are not able to function properly in today's society. And the irony of even that number, though, is that a lot of money and a lot more research gets put into disease and illnesses and syndromes and situations that have much lower numbers than that.
I know.
So it really surprises me. But
maybe it's because it's not fatal. Can it kill you? I don't know.
Well, I don't think that chronic fatigue syndrome in of itself can kill you, but I mean, you might adapt a lifestyle that puts you on a downward spiral.
Sure.
But let's, on an up note here, let's fast forward again, back 20 years later, Shirley, and I'm living life to the fullest, and I feel as physically and emotionally strong as I've ever been. There is hope for all those people.
Sure.
And this show isn't just for people whose fatigue is so bad they can't function. This is for people. This show is also for people who just are lacking energy.
Sure, of course. And we're going to talk about the difference in that. But first we have to go to nutrition in the news. That's the first thing we take care of. And today's dose deals with your stomach. And each of us has a built-in hormonal reflex that senses a full message to the digestive organs and to the brain. But unfortunately, some people learn to tune that message out, resulting in frequent overeating. But research shows that there may be a simple way to help get the message through loud and clear. And as an added bonus, this method might help diabetics to control their blood sugar levels. And that's all very fascinating, Joe, because, again, this whole country is interested in watching their weight, keeping their weight down, and yet we have overeating. So what is this?
Well, studies show, Shirley, here's one here. Satiety is a feeling you get when you're full. According to a Swedish study, that feeling can be helped along with a little acetic acid, which is the main component in vinegar. It's also the thing that makes vinegar taste sour. It's ironic that we're talking about this here today, Shirley, because, well, here's just one more quick study. Compared with the control meal, the highest level of vinegar intake, between 2 and 3 tablespoons, was associated with significantly lower blood sugar and insulin responses.
Interesting.
And an increased satiety score, meaning you felt fuller and more content quicker.
Huh. Now, you're talking about apple cider vinegar.
Well, that's the way I would take it. No, they're talking about vinegar in and of itself. Apple cider vinegar is a great way to be able to consume it, because if you've ever just taken vinegar and taken a shot of it, it's not a pleasant thing. But see, by lowering your insulin levels, we talked a little bit this on previous shows, lowering your insulin levels is a sign that you have less glucose in your blood, and your pancreas has to do less work, and that means less fat storage. Between that and the notion of being able to feel full and content means you eat less food.
Right.
Now, in fact, I can't believe that this is today's Nutrition and News, because it just it's one of those aha moments that I don't take apple cider vinegar anymore. You know, I was like...
And you know, I used to take it too.
Oh, sure, I took it every day forever.
Well, could I just interject? I took it because, you know, it's supposed to, I didn't know about this, you know, feeling full, but it has so many wonderful benefits. And one of them I had heard that it helps your sinuses if you have sinus problems. And I was like faithfully taking it every day, and then I kind of stopped too.
Yeah, it's supposed to have multi-benefits. But if you remember a couple shows ago, we did a healthy habit of drinking a glass of water about 30 minutes before a meal, warm water, putting a little lemon in there.
Right. And eating an apple.
And eating an apple.
Eating an apple, yeah.
And I thought to myself, there was something missing. There's something missing. I remember there was 3 things I used to do all the time before eating a meal. That was the third one.
Oh, take a little vinegar.
It was the apple cider vinegar. So I would take a shot of it, you know, then I would drink the water, and then I would eat the apple, and surely it really did make a difference. And I enjoyed great health through that time, and I'm going out and getting me some apple cider vinegar after the show because I can't believe I got off of it.
Well, and would eating an apple kind of have it wouldn't have the same effects as having the vinegar. I mean, you have to have the apple cider vinegar. Apples would not be the same.
No. That's good. That's a good point to bring up. The apple, the main reason that you do that, and this really works people with apples, I hope they'll take us up on, is the skin on the apple, you know, is very thick and fibrous and has something called pectin in it, and that just really helps give you a feeling of, and it's been working, Shirley, and I've been on a good weight trend here in the last 6 months, and it has been because I'm just, the desire to devour is more moderate than my...
Well, we need to go to that. Now, apple cider, the kind they buy is very important, right? I mean, you need to get organic apple cider vinegar?
Yeah, you do, because you only want the thing to be made up of apple cider and vinegar. Okay? People who buy the less expensive version, there's a lot of water in it. Bragg's is a good brand, and they have been around forever. You probably remember them from they've been around forever, and they were the big proponents of apple cider vinegar back then. But Bragg's is a good. But there's several. I was
laughing because you know me, I'm always making everything taste good, and so I remember when I was really faithful about taking apple cider vinegar every day, I decided to buy apple cider and put it in the apple cider, and that you could hardly notice that it was in there.
If it gets it down, go with it. Go with it.
Exactly. Well, it has many wonderful benefits. Well, for more information on today's Nutrition in the News, check out www.tln.com and click on shows and then go to Balanced Health. Or you can get a copy of today's show by calling 888-242-9393. And after the break, if you've got a cold, making a beeline for the vitamin C, is it the right thing to do or not? We'll find out when we come back. Stay with us.